Hi everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Jenny and I'm here today to share with you my art book club reads for 2026. So I run an art book club on Patreon, and all the information of how to join us is down below in the description box. A little bit about me: I am an artist. I love reading books about art, and I have been running book clubs now. This is going into my 4th year, I believe. So I ran a book club on an artist network for 2 years. And then last year was the first year of my Patreon book club. And we are a small and dedicated group who like to read books about art. And so we have read lots of different types of books over the last few years, and some of them are fiction, some of them are nonfiction, some of them are books about creativity, and some of them are books that talk about artists, artist biographies, and talk about the art world in general. So if that is something that appeals to you, if you're interested in reading about art, or maybe diversifying your reading and, trying out reading about art, then I would encourage you to join. It is a monthly membership, so you're not required to stay longer than a month if you don't like it. What I wanted to share with you today is the 4 books that we're planning to read for the year of 2026. We read very slowly in this book club, so it's not a book a month, which is, sometimes more of a commitment than some people can make. And so obviously, we do read it slowly, and obviously that might be too slow for some people. So I'm sure you can find your sweet spot in here. What I do is I post a suggested reading schedule on Patreon, and you can read faster than that. I don't know if you'd want to read slower than that, but you could if you needed to. And then when we meet up, we have a live chat once a month. Near the end of the month, we talk about that section, up to that section of each book. So the books are generally divided into 3 sections. Sometimes there's a little bit more reading in one than another, and that will reflect on the number of days in the month, but also just the way the book has been laid out, and to make it into an easy reading experience for those who would like to read along. And you can come to the meeting if you haven't read any of the book. You can come to the meeting if you've only read a portion, and you can read the whole thing, and then we just discuss it in chunks as well. So there's lots of different options for how you can make that work for you and your reading style. The key of this is that it's reading in community. It's reading with people who also love reading about art, and it's reading with an interactive component and something that you can chat about and discuss with others. And so what I find for some people is that that's a great way to be held accountable for your reading, so you end up reading more and being more committed to the reading process. And for others, it's just a great way to get together with someone and chat about books, which is always a really fun thing if you love books. So I'll go through the book list with you now and give you a little description for each. Our first book of 2026 is The Muse by Jessie Burton, and this is a novel. It's a historical fiction novel set in 2 timelines, the 1960s and the 1930s. Our 1960s character is Odell, who is originally from the Caribbean and is living in London, and she begins working at an art gallery and stumbles across a famous painting that has kind of been relegated to the sidelines, and it's a very exciting discovery. And there's a second timeline in this book which takes place in the 1930s with another character who actually meets the artist who this painting is purported to be from. And so it's a dual timeline with a little bit of a mystery in there. And so this is the first time we're reading fiction. We wanted to kind of add in a little bit of something different and start off the year with something that was a bit lighter, perhaps less factual and less dense than some of the other books that we were going to read this year. So The Muse by Jessie Burton is our read for January, February, and March. For April, May, and June, we are going to be reading Yoko by David Sheff. So this is a biography of Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono, of course, is known as being John Lennon's wife and co-collaborator in a lot of his later music, but she is a brilliant artist in her own right. She was an artist before she met John, she was an artist while she was with John, and she continues to be an artist today. Her work is very groundbreaking in a lot of senses. She has a lot of conceptual art. This book covers her childhood in Tokyo during the war, and it also covers her feminism, her activism. You know, it's about her life. She is a brilliant artist with a lot of fantastic work behind her, and hopefully a lot more ahead of her as well. And so I'm very excited to share and read this biography for April, May, and June. Okay, so in July, August, and September, we're going to be reading The Equivalents, A Story of Art, Female Friendship, and Liberation in the 1960s by Maggie Doherty. This is a story of 5 brilliant and passionate women in the 1960s who converged in the newly founded Radcliffe Institute for Independent Study, and they became friends as well as artistic collaborators, and they went on to shape feminism in the United States. And so this is, about, the artistic bonds that women can make. And this one has a bit more of a historical bent specific to the feminist movement. So very excited to read that one. And then our final read of 2026 will be a memoir. And this will be for October, November, and December. And this is Walk Through Walls by Marina Abramovic. So Marina Abramovic is also contemporary artist working today. She has been transformative to the performance art movement. She works in the United States, but she's international. She's originally from Eastern Europe. And she has done some incredible things to herself, to her body, to create amazing performance art. I would say she very much is complementary to Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono's also done some very provocative performance art, and so they have an interesting way to reflect on each other. So that's something else that the book club can offer, where we'll have read about Yoko earlier in the year, and then we'll be able to read about Marina and kind of compare and contrast their careers and their styles of making art. And so those are our 4 books for 2026. Like I said, there is a live chat every month. I post as well about every section of the book that we're reading. In case someone can't come to the live chat, they can always post their thoughts there. It's a great time. I hope if you're interested in diversifying your reading and any of these books appeal to you, you will consider joining us for Patreon Book Club, the Art Book Club on Patreon. And I will be back again soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching.